One of the things that seems to be part of your story is, again, the urging from the Black community for white people to get engaged in non-white space. I'm framing your visit to Simmons College as part of the experience of putting yourself in a non-white space that it afforded you some kind of encounter that you couldn't have had if you hadn't done that. And I know since then you've put yourself again and again into non-white spaces. You want to talk a little bit about what led you to get involved with the Urban League and what your experience there has been like?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I mean, the Urban League, I knew about the Urban League. I had attended maybe a couple of peripheral events where they had been involved in Louisville, so I knew it existed, but I didn't really understand what it did. After 2016, 17, and I started reading so much, I knew that, again, my education led to understanding, led to compassion, led to wanting to get involved in action. And so I got in touch with Sadiqa Reynolds and said, I'd like to meet with you to see if I can do something to get involved. And so she welcomed me, and I had a meeting with her. And I, through that meeting, decided that I could prepare wills for all of her staff for free, because that would be easy for me to do. And so I did, and then I started working in that respect. And then she invited me to join the board. And so a really funny story I told Sadiqa is that so my practice is mostly real estate, but I also prepare wills. And I say this at the risk of losing some business over my will preparation, but I hate doing wills.
You did mine, John, by the way. I just want to remind you.
Yours was the exception, of course. And so what happened was, when I started to do them for the Urban League, and then I opened it up to Urban League employee family, love with doing wills. And so did that have something to do with the preparation of documents and the forms themselves? Of course it didn't. It had to do with the fact that my life was so much richer because I was having interpersonal relationships with people whose experiences were vastly different than mine. And so encouraged me to want to get more involved. And so every time I'm in the Urban League space in the building, it's filled with people of color, and it's filled with life. And I mentioned the Black church earlier, and any white people who go to the Black church are always jealous of the energy because there's a palpable energy and enthusiasm and zest for life there. And so my experience with Black people is that I was missing that in my life. And so my life is so much richer because of that. So that, you know, that really, I think it's just super important that, you know, and it's super important to have those experiences, not only because it enriches my life, but also because it makes me more educated. And when I become more educated, then I am a better advocate for justice in the world. And so, you know, it'd be hard for me to advocate for prisoners right now because I have no experience with prisoners. But if I immerse myself in prison culture in some way, I'm going to have rich experiences as well. My daughter's working in a prison program, and she's getting her doctorate in psychology, and has decided she wants to do that now. That's her calling, and so it was only through the experience that she had of sitting down with people that were in prison. Perhaps, in fact, most of the people she was working with for the rest of their lives, for her to know, oh, wow, there's something meaningful, there's something rich in this experience, this dialogue, this conversation with a man that's covered in tattoos, or a Black man who was in a gang. And she had no understanding, no experience in any of that. And so I'm learning, here I am 55 years old, and I'm learning that in terms of world experience, I didn't know very much.
Mm.